Good evening, this is the Walpole Zoning Board of Appeals. Tonight is Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. It is 7 p.m. at Town Hall. The first thing the board will discuss is the future meeting schedule. Currently, we have proposed two options to all board members for modifying our scheduled meetings for the future of 2023. I know, Patrick, you guys both took some correspondence from some board members as far as what would work and what wouldn't.
Yep.
Would you like to fill us in on where we stand?
Yeah, I mean,
with that?
I think a few of you reached out. The two options really, looking at other regulatory boards when they meet and trying to find a schedule that didn't really interfere with any other board. The option would be go to, I believe, second and fourth Mondays, or the other option was to just go the first Wednesday of the month with a second meeting as needed for the third Monday of the month. Some towns around us do have zoning boards that meet monthly. I think having the secondary option being the third Monday opens up the possibility if there's a situation, especially with 40Bs coming up, where you do need to watch your regulatory clock and meet additional meetings. That second option, if there's any confusion there was two situations where we need to, I guess, pick a secondary date. The secondary dates are all in light gray. The primary dates are all in black. Two situations, the secondary date in April, that's just because it interferes with the holiday. So we just threw out three other options. And then the secondary date in June, there's also a holiday, so that's why there's two options there. If we needed to kind of decide which of those two secondary dates makes sense, if we want to go that route, I don't know if the board wants to have more of a discussion in terms of those two, the two options in general, the second or fourth Monday, or the first Wednesday of the month with a second date as needed being the third Monday. I don't know if that's confusing, but, you know.
No. Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Did anyone ask Conservation if they wanted to switch? Or was that just never?
I didn't. I felt, being the fact that we were going to switch, I didn't want to put them in a situation where they would need to ask their members if they wanted to switch. I figured we would just work around them.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry I missed the last meeting, and I'm trying to figure out why are we switching from our every other Wednesday night?
So
Two guys.
the chairman was, I believe, going to initially step aside. He had a discussion with, I believe, some members of the Board of Selectmen or the Board of Selectmen about the possibility of bringing, just as a discussion item to this board, do we want to adjust the meeting schedule?
Okay.
So Lauren and I looked into dates, trying to find a situation where we wouldn't interfere with other boards. There's really kind of, these are probably the two more easy to handle options, whereas we go to second and fourth Monday, or just do the once a month meeting with a secondary meeting as needed,
Okay.
depending on caseload or depending if there's 40Bs become problematic with a meeting. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I saw the email that he was
sorry about
conflicted.
that, Bob.
But no, it's fine. I just was, yeah, okay. So presumably then he'll continue as chair if we select one of these two options.
Yeah, or at least he'll be on the board
Okay.
still. I think that's my
Yeah.
impression.
Okay.
Do any other board members have any other comments?
I just had a question. On the May, the only meeting would be on the 15th. We wouldn't have May 3rd, the first Wednesday?
So the first Wednesday, I guess we don't want to plan for that just because town meeting is the first Monday of the month, and being that town meeting would if it carries over from Monday, would fall on the Wednesday.
Oh, I see.
So that
Okay,
would,
yeah,
rather
yeah,
than
yeah.
schedule
Yep.
and then have
Yep.
to,
I gotcha.
But I think we need a secondary, that was another one too.
Oh, sorry, yep, so actually, Nora just pointed out, so the situation on the second one, I know it's a little bit confusing, there's three situations in April, May, and June where there's a need to plan a secondary date just as needed, and both April and June, there's multiple dates there in gray just because we're trying to figure out a time that doesn't interfere with a holiday, just to have it as a marked off if we need it. The second May date, same situation, because we're skipping the first Wednesday and going with, I believe May 15th is the Monday, the third Monday. We just want, just as an idea, if we want to have two meetings in, or at least plan for two meetings in May, maybe only use the primary meeting, but just have a secondary meeting as needed. So, sorry.
So May 15th would be the primary meeting of
Yes.
the month, and we need to pick either the 22nd or the 24th
Correct.
for our alleged
Backup.
ghost meeting. Okay.
Yeah, I guess just for
Okay.
the purposes of, writing it in pencil for our own mind. I guess the dates in black, figure those as, those are your meeting dates. Those would be your first Wednesday of the month. Whereas the gray meeting dates, we would have to probably address this, at least a month in advance, whether or not those dates would need to be utilized. And that would be the third Monday. So first Wednesday is primary, third Monday is secondary.
And then, in terms of obligations to open hearings, once you receive an application, the notice is published. If we went the full month without a meeting, would we be in trouble? Like on a 40B, for
So
example?
if we missed a whole month without a meeting,
Well, if we had like a January meeting and then a February, and we didn't schedule one for later in January.
I guess that's why I wanted to, I guess initially we thought having the 2 meetings a month schedule, this would be a solution, but
Yeah.
then thinking it through, we could probably get away with planning for that first Wednesday as your only one meeting date a month. However, things happen.
Yep.
Either caseload backs up or we find ourselves in a situation where the regulatory time for 40Bs becomes problematic. And so that secondary date, at least pencil that in your mind if needed. We want to make sure you're aware of that at least a month in advance, that we may need to use that second meeting date this month because of
And we would
whatever
need to
situation.
have that a month in advance? Or what-
Yeah, I mean, that's
How would kind of that posting of it decision work?
posting the decision, posting the meeting.
Well, like, hey, there's going to be another meeting that wasn't originally on the schedule.
So
Because usually the
a good
schedule
example would be
on the
like
site.
March, right? So right now we're at sort of 15th. Our next meeting would be March 1st. March 20th, in a situation like this, we are planning on March 1st. That's the opening of the 40B hearing for Burns Ave. March 20th, if the situation arises where we have more cases that would probably backlog March 1st, we have enough time in the regulatory time frame, like that's 65 days from when they apply, where we could move them to March 20th as a way to have March 1st be the focus for a more, intensive case, whereas March 20th would be an option for, smaller cases. Just so happens that I'm bringing that up because March 20th would work. We have, let's say, about 3 cases that have just, 3 applicants that just recently applied, and we expect within, the next week and a half, probably 3 more that are on their way. And so from a planning standpoint, planning for March 20th would alleviate the need for those cases to be on April 5th. And I only bring that up just because I don't want to plan too far ahead, but if we open on March 1st for Burns, that's a heavy caseload. That's probably going to be a few hours of discussion. If we continue, does it make sense to continue to April 5th? I know that's jumping ahead, but I'm just trying to, plan out how to also deal with the regular applications that come in with also being able to put our attention towards the 40B cases.
Well, in previous 40B cases,
Yeah.
Burns Ave, we've met outside of our regulatory
Yep.
scheduled meetings
Mhm.
to accommodate those more intense cases, I think.
Yeah.
I guess that's where I was headed, was, are we just going to post the black dates on the Popple site, town site, and say these are the dates for the year, and then we'll just add the others as needed, roughly a month in advance?
I think that would make sense. I know it's kind of, do we keep the secondary meeting, and if we just don't have it, we don't use it, and so I guess from our standpoint, dealing with applicants, we try to make sure we plan for them to be on the primary date, but then post the secondary date as needed? I don't know. I'm fine doing that option as well, just so we're transparent that those are potential dates. But I guess ideally, we would try to focus everything to be on that first Wednesday of the month. I don't know. That makes sense? Yeah.
I think we're still going to have to pencil in those secondary dates, and I would personally keep it open,
Yeah.
just because I don't want to say I'm going to go to my knitting class, and I can give that up, don't worry, but, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I
Very
think,
kind of you.
I think that's a
I
good
think we
idea.
need to keep them on our calendars in pencil, not Sharpie. And then, but the main ones, you know, but like if we open a case on April 5th,
Yep.
I'm going way ahead, and it's kind of intensive, and you already know that the May 15th meeting's already got some things extended. So if it's an intense case, not a 40B, but it's an intense, confusing, complicated thing, then that would probably be the one we would probably try to put on the secondary night. It might not be long,
Yeah, but as
then
an
I wouldn't want
option.
to load it up, so I mean, you gotta figure on, and I think, I talked to Patrick today, I think what might be helpful, for me anyway, is at the bottom of our agenda, upcoming meetings, I think I'd like to see the cases that are active, and when they're continued to, and when their deadline date is up, so that it's in front of us as we look ahead.
Yeah, and we can do that. So I think to that point, I guess if it makes sense with, I mean, I don't know if anyone has any objections to this first Wednesday, third Monday option, but I guess from a planning standpoint, we can have all those dates posted as available, just knowing that that Monday meeting may be in a situation where we don't need to meet. That, you know, primarily geared meetings towards the first Wednesday.
Is there any benefit to having the Monday schedule and then just say we don't have any active applications, so we're not meeting on it? You know, in other words, not having tentative dates, but being open to not holding a meeting if we don't have any applications. Would that be easier? It just seems like
Yeah.
it's the second one's complicated.
No, yeah, that's also a possibility as well. You mean just going with the second?
Well, going with
Second
the
or fourth
first,
Monday?
yeah,
Yeah.
the first option, and then if we don't need the second meeting for whatever reason, then we can always not have one.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's just another.
I mean,
option.
just from your planning purpose.
Yeah.
Right, as you're scheduling, if you can push somebody out 2 weeks, great. If you can't, then we'll meet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we kind of more and I discussed this. I mean, we could work with whatever the board's preference is. I think initially we kind of were thinking we can keep it consistent with what day of the week. Then thinking of it through some more, does it make sense to just meet once a month? And like you said, if there's no cases, then you just push it to the other date. And I think we came on to the whole first Wednesday of the month because that was at least consistent with what our current meeting schedule is.
Yep.
But I'm fine with whatever option, I guess.
Well, it would be beneficial to come to some conclusion
Yeah.
tonight as potentially.
Well, if the worst case
yeah,
scenario is-
Future cases.
The worst case scenario is we try it for like 2 months, we get into summer schedule anyways, and if it doesn't work, we can
we
go
can
back
always
to the
come
drawing
back.
board and
Yep.
figure something else out for the fall,
I think that's right.
depending
that makes
upon
sense.
the caseload. I mean, I like to keep not for any reason, the first Wednesday seems to be a smooth thing, maybe for the applicants too. You got Monday and Tuesday to deal with things.
We look
before
at
Wednesday.
advertising purposes as well.
Well, that was
So
what I was
when
gonna
we
ask
do
you, the
public
advertising,
hearings,
right.
You know, the paper goes out on Thursdays, and so right now when an applicant applies, really it's the earliest we could get them on is about a month, just because of the regulatory timeframe we need to advertise. I don't think moving it to Monday really impacts it too much. I think we're still within that first, the first posting needs to be within 14 days of the opening of the public hearing. And I think it still works if we go to Monday, so that's fine. But
Does anyone have any thoughts if we met 15 minutes earlier? like
That's another thing.
6:45 or 6:30 to take care of like board business, minutes, and then, you know, bang, 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 the hearings starting at 7 and right at 7. I mean, if it's busy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a matter of posting. It doesn't matter if we post at 3 in the afternoon, if it's posted, not that we're gonna meet then, but if it's a heavy day, if it looks like it's the first Wednesday is pretty heavy, does anyone have a problem coming at 6:30 or 6:45? Get started? Anybody?
No, I don't see an issue with
I
that.
mean, I know you guys are working. I'm not.
So,
I
right
just
at-
wait all day to come to the meeting.
So I guess
actually believe that.
So right now, we do have stuff scheduled definitely towards March 1st. But would it make sense to just start on March 20th as the start of maybe the first Wednesday, second Monday meeting schedule? And then kind of go from there, see how it goes. And if it gets clunky, we just change it.
I would agree with that.
All right.
We'll do March 1st, and then March 20th will be the primary.
So March 1st would be the primary.
Okay.
And so would April 5th. I guess March 20th would be the secondary date,
Which is a Monday, right?
which is a
Yes.
Monday.
Which is a Monday, okay.
And we should probably pick the dates for April.
Well, the April
Yeah,
is just,
we could
it's going
just
from the
settle.
3rd to the 4th Monday, right? To keep it,
The 5th is the first Wednesday.
Yeah, so the April situation, the 19th is the third Wednesday, the 24th is the fourth Monday, and the 26th is the fourth Wednesday. Again, those dates in gray where they're like, there's multiple, that's because it doesn't work with a holiday.
right?
So if you do want to kind of like just settle which one of those secondary April dates, which one of those secondary May dates, and which one of those secondary June dates work, we can post that.
School vacation in April, I don't know when it is.
Oh, so
I think that's usually the fourth week, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it's the last week. They get lots of vacations.
I don't know what school vacation is.
Oh, got a calendar in my office.
I think it's the third week.
It's probably the 17th.
I think it's the third.
I have the,
Yeah,
I have the
okay.
calendar right here. Let me just. It is April, the third week in April.
Okay.
17th.
Okay, so we're in the
Maybe
clear,
the
okay.
24th,
Yeah.
26th.
So we go to 19, so we're at 24 or 26.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Do a Monday, the 24th.
That'll work. Okay.
And just keep,
Yeah, I think so.
keep it
All right.
consistent.
Keep it consistent. Yep. Same thing. May 22nd would be the fourth Monday. I guess I'll keep that.
Yep.
Okay. June.
What day, Monday?
The only thing with the May
22nd.
22nd is the June meeting
Oh.
is,
It would.
is it enough time?
Oh,
Oh, between the
yeah,
fif-
that
the
would be
15th to the 22nd is only a week. Did you know that? You want to go into the 24th
That's right.
Oh yeah.
of May? Because it's with a week there.
We could plan one meeting in May. My only thing with May too is, again, I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself, but I know thinking of Burns opening in March and thinking we have 120 days,
Right.
May might be a situation where we do need to meet multiple times. If it's helpful right now to plan just May 15th, and as we get closer, then we kind of plan as needed, specifically for Burns, then we could just do that when it comes.
I mean, the applicant might agree with all the terms, and we might close it in one night.
Oh yeah,
You never know, so.
It always happens.
But the other
It's good to
meetings,
Plan ahead.
the other primaries, like June 7th, August 2nd, September 6th, those were the bolded ones we should plan on,
Yeah.
the first Wednesdays, okay?
When does the summer schedule start?
I believe July. So
What was-
July and August summer schedule. We
Right.
usually meet once a month anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, the only thing I saw was the August 2nd, the first week in August, we were talking about not
Oh, yeah.
having a meeting that week.
Not having a
originally.
All right, we could just pencil in the 21st. I guess that's
Yep.
primary.
Which means we probably want to do something later in July.
Okay.
Mid to late July.
Leave on July
So July.
17th.
July 17th.
July 17th is the date proposed now. Would you want to move that back?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay.
August 21, oops.
So for June, I guess I'm just going to plan a Monday as the secondary date, so I'll just cross up June 28th.
So it'll be the 26th.
So we'll go
I'll
with
say
the
26th, yep.
That's 26th.
Go with the 26th and cross up the 28th.
You'll send that out to us.
I will send that out.
Okay. Everybody's got tick
Yeah,
marks and
yeah.
circles. I should have brought my crayons.
Yeah.
Doodling.
You want to run down it just real quick, or?
So, all right, so March 1st is our next meeting,
Yep.
then March 20th, April 5th, April 24th, May 15th, May 22nd, June 7th, I'm sorry,
24.
yeah, June 7th, June 26th, July 17th, August 21st, September 6th, September 18th, October 4th, October 16th, November 1st, November 20th, December 6th, and December 18th.
Works for me.
Take a vote.
What, can you just go back to May? I'm sorry. May
So,
15th? Did
May
we-
15th, and I had May 22nd, but do we actually just want to plan May 15th and then adjust as needed?
Those are two.
Yeah, because the
It makes
22nd
sense.
is just a week away. I
Yep.
don't know if you want to plan on 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine having it at one meeting, and then if the only time we would meet again in May is if it interferes with
Okay,
a 40B project where we need to
So-
come see it again.
that's a negative. Okay. Yes, I think I'm good with that.
All right.
Can I please have a motion to modify the upcoming meeting dates as described by Patrick?
So moved.
Moved by Dave,
Second.
second by Mark. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. All right, on to the business.
And if we need to do an earlier starting time, we just want to let that fly for now?
Right.
Okay, as it comes up, okay.
The first case we'll hear tonight is case number 23-2, High Plains Holdings LLC, 173 High Plains Street, modification to ZBA case number 22-1, in order to update the plan of record to reflect the final site plan approved by the planning board. The applicant step forward, please, and identify yourself to the board.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Dan Merrigan, Legacy Engineering, here on behalf of the applicant. So we've submitted a special permit modification request for 173 High Plain. The final plan that was approved by the planning board reflected a few minor changes. We added notes that were reflective of some of the conditions that you incorporated about restriping the street if the town wanted us to, a no left turn sign with hours to be determined by town staff. Minor changes like that. Really the more substantive issue, I don't know if you remember, but at the final meeting, the neighbor to the rear asked if we could move the dumpster. We had the dumpster positioned. This is the plan you approved, where the dumpster positioned here. At the final meeting, this gentleman came to the meeting and he stood up and he asked if we'd consider moving the dumpster. And, when we went forward, you guys closed and voted, but when we went forward with the next meeting with the planning board, we actually made that change. We moved the dumpster from here over to here. So that's really the big change. Beyond that, you have a condition 11 in there that I understand why you have it. The applicant came to a meeting when I was on vacation, and they gave you some testimony that was a little inaccurate. The sidewalk out front is a bituminous sidewalk, paved sidewalk. So what the town engineer asked us to do is to repave the sidewalk in front of the property. The discussion during the meeting, I watched it on video, was there was a suggestion that it would be concrete. The town engineer doesn't want it to be concrete, so this whole stretch is paved sidewalk. So my suggestion would be to just eliminate condition 11, because the plan reflects the requirement to replace the sidewalk in front of the property. And there's new curb cuts, there's new curb cuts at our driveway entrance for handicap accessibility. Those are concrete. So those are really the big changes.
Excuse me, I'll just quickly, I apologize, read in the department comments that we have. This is from the Health Department dated January 25th. The Health Department has no objections to this special permit request. This is from the Deputy Fire Chief, February 2nd, 2023. The Fire Department has reviewed the plans and application for the above noted location. We have the following comments to offer the board. The submitted plan set signed by the planning board shows the applicant has addressed our previous concerns. Per the building code, the structure, including 2 residential floors, will be protected with an NFPA compliant fire sprinkler system and an NFPA compliant monitored fire alarm system. This is from Carl Boldoff, February 7th, 2023. There's no comment or no objection. This is from Luke Parlon, January 13th, 2023. The attached plans have been reviewed for any impact on public safety and quality of life. The Walpole Police Department suggests that a solar LED flashing crosswalk light, same lights that are throughout the town, to be installed at the Byrd Middle School at the pedestrian crosswalk in front of the school. We would also suggest to have an adequate space for delivery trucks inside the complex. There should be no parking or stopping on Route 27. Are those comments addressed in your plans currently?
We have a loading space. The issue with Byrd, Mr. Parlarn raised that all throughout the prior hearings. None of the boards, including yours, thought that was something that was linked to this project. He's talking about the middle school down the street, so I don't know why he keeps making that comment. I reached out to him and asked him during the prior hearing. He never responded to me.
Is this development age restricted, or is there potential for children being inside of that building?
There's a potential for children, yeah, there could be a couple
Traveling
of
to the
kids,
school?
1 or 2 kids, yeah.
Okay. I don't see any reason not to help the town out and potentially the residents of this dwelling by providing that. But I guess if there's other board members that have comments or questions?
Don't they have a blinking light at the corner where they cross over already?
We do.
Yeah.
Stoplight?
I gotta believe they're gonna have appropriate controls when they're rebuilding the middle school
Yeah.
for children crossing the Washington Street. I mean, they're rebuilding that now.
Are they talking about High Plain? Crossing High Plain? Is that
No,
what-
there's a signalized intersection, right, there's a four-way signalized intersection here. I think he's talking about down here in the driveway that they're, I mean, they're rebuilding the whole middle school.
says to be
So I'm
installed.
sure they're gonna have.
Yeah, it says to be installed at the Byrd Middle School and pedestrian crosswalk at the front of the school. I can't speak for Officer
Can we-
Parlin's comment, but I know we've gone through the process already. I'm not sure if speaking to town engineer at all, if that came up, or, I don't know.
Mr. Chairman, could you I guess because this is like part of the record, if we go against, I don't agree with it, but if we go against the fact that it's here, and we kind of do go by fire and police safety suggestions, can you reach out to him and get him to strike that from a letter?
I tried to reach out to him. He made the same comment all through the prior hearings to both the planning board and the zoning board. I tried to reach out to Officer Parlon, he did not respond to me. So, there's nothing more I can do about that. You know, the planning board reached the conclusion that it wasn't, it wasn't something that was associated with this project. The zoning board, I think, had reached the same conclusion. You
Well, I think we
received the
did.
same comment.
I'm just seeing it as back, and it's still in a letter
Yeah,
dated.
I reached out to
dated
Officer
January
Parlon.
23. He hasn't
reached
changed
out.
his mind, but I just don't understand
I find it
his
hard to believe that the town
rationalization.
rebuilding the middle school is not going to have a crosswalk. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I don't disagree, and I haven't seen the traffic study or any proposed traffic improvements for the Byrd Middle School, but I also think that as you request to put 2 floors of residential above a commercial building in that area, that you potentially subject residents of your building to travel to foot onto that school, and you should provide them some sort of safe access in doing so. That's my personal feeling, but
Yeah, I mean, I think there has to be some reasonable relationship between the impacts of the project and the mitigation that's being requested here. And I don't think there is. I mean, there's a signalized intersection where you can cross safely to the opposite side of the street. Adding a couple of children, obviously we're all concerned about their safety, but this project is not tipping the scales such that an additional light or a flashing light is required. And I would agree that the redesign of that school is going to include all kinds of things that would make anything that is added by this project sort of superfluous in my view. So I don't think, I disagree with the requested mitigation myself.
Okay.
I'd just like to see you get this off print for our protection. We might not agree with it, or we disagree with what's here.
I tried.
Try again.
But I mean, there is a sidewalk all the way to the middle school site
Oh, yeah.
from this building, right?
Yep, continuous
With
sidewalk all the way,
crosswalks
with
and-
crosswalks, signalized intersection.
So, I mean, as long as that exists, I think,
Is it possible to condition that?
Right now, I think just because this has already gone through the process and it's already been reviewed for offsite mitigation with the town engineer, I'm not sure if this comment is really relevant to what's being asked right now by the applicant. The intersection is signalized, and the comment about, signalization of the crosswalk by the middle school, I'm not sure how related this project is to that, and that might be something that more falls on the town to provide. So I really wouldn't speak to that as something at this stage being part of the condition for what the applicant's asking.
We are just trying to move a dumpster to make it better for the neighbor to the rear. That's why we're here.
Well, but I'm in agreement with what Judy said. That it's a
I just don't
department
like this
comment that-
current document. It says, in January last month, he repeated what he said that we all disagreed with. The planning board might have said the same thing, but this is
In
going to
your
be.
prior file, too.
I know it is, but, I don't like it. I didn't like it when it was in the other folder.
I can't,
One more stab at the
I
apple,
didn't
I mean,
control Officer Barlow.
he should be responding as a, who's he going to respond to? Someone from the town side now? We don't usually make calls on behalf of the applicant to get that out of there.
I mean, it's not, the statement itself isn't even a reflection of an impact associated with the project. It's a suggestion that this be constructed. It doesn't say it's necessary to protect safety. It doesn't say anything. I don't know. I think it's, we had a hearing on the initial special permit. We approved that project, which was really the analysis of the residential component. All the applicant is here for tonight is to modify some notes to the plan and move a dumpster. It seems to me inappropriate to kind of reopen, a mitigation issue associated with pedestrian traffic based on these minor modifications to the project. I think to the extent the board was going to impose that, I think it should have at the original special permit hearing. And we didn't, and I think that was appropriate at that time.
I mean, I'd add that he's asking for the crosswalk a tenth of a mile away from this project, which to me doesn't seem like that makes a lot of sense when there's a sidewalk that already goes there.
I guess I can see that. Dave, any thoughts?
I would agree with Bob.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I just don't want to see things in print. It's such a long trail.
I get it.
I would only just specify, I certainly value officers' comments. I mean, all those comments from departments is important for board's decisions. I would just say, the language does say suggest, it's not a requirement, it's not a shall, and I think, if the comment has been made in the past, and that's something that has been addressed in different ways, and it may not be really related to the board's, actions here tonight. It might be a situation that needs to be taken up in a different manner.
Right. Yeah, I guess I agree. I think that, it's nothing that we can condition or mandate at this point in the process, and I agree that really this was about the dumpster and some of the conditions that the planning board had specified. So I just asked that they maybe touch base with the police department and make sure that you're on the same page regarding
Sure.
what you can. Like to close the hearing? Oh, excuse me. Is there anyone in the audience that'd like to speak
Yeah, so my
regarding?
name is Dan Aloisi.
Can you step up to the
Yeah,
microphone,
yeah.
please?
Hi, Dan Aloisi. I'm the rear abutter. Thank you for moving the dumpster. Appreciate that. I think the only thing that I didn't see in the revised plan we had spoken about the last meeting was the arborvitae trees in the back lining the fence. I think we had spoken about that we would be planting anywhere from 8 to 10 feet tall arborvitaes all along the white vinyl fence, and I did not see that in the revised plans.
So there is a landscape plan. I neglected to attach it to the set that I submitted to you. But there are, as your condition requires, and you'll keep this condition in your permit, there are 40 9 to 10 foot arborvitaes across the rear of the property that go all along your property.
Okay, I didn't see that, so.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and that's
we're gonna
this
attach
plan
that?
right here. And I can certainly
It's
submit
condition
that
number
to-
13.
Yep.
Okay, all right, I didn't see that in
Yeah, it's a different plan sheet.
Okay, all right, that's all I have, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Would the applicant like to close the hearing?
Yes, please.
Can I please have a motion to close case number 22-4?
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Dave, second by Judy. All those in favor, please say.
Mr. Chair, I guess I'd first would identify. you.
Sorry about that. Voting on this would be Tim, Judy, Dave, myself, and Rob. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained, motion carries to close the hearing. Motion to approve case number 22-4, Thomas J. Powers, 23-2, High Plains Holding LLC. Special permit. Modification to ZBA case number 22-1 in order to update the record to reflect the final site plan approved by the planning board.
So moved.
Moved by Bob.
Question?
Sorry, to eliminate condition number 11, along with moving the dumpster as shown in the plan dated,
The final revision date is October 27th, 2022.
October 27th, 2022.
So I believe the applicants are looking to not only just modify the plan of record to reflect what was approved by the planning board, but also strike condition 11 as
Right.
it is covered within the final
Right.
approved plan.
Yep. Can I have a motion to that effect, please?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by Judy, second by Bob. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Oppose, abstain, motion carries. Thank you. The next case we will hear is case number 22-4, Thomas J. Powers, 132, 136, 140 Washington Street, special permit under section 5B13G of the Walpole zoning bylaws to allow for a 3-story, 6-unit mixed-use residential development within the business zoning district. This has been continued from January 18th of 2023.
So I continue to work with the Conservation Commission. We still are working through some issues regarding some details like on-site plantings and some off-site work. And I would like to continue this for one more month so that I can get all those details ironed out and make sure that it's not going to impact the plan that you would take action on. So that is my request, and then do you need an extension on the time to act?
We do, yep. So, right now you have until February 28th, so I guess depending on what the board would want to, if they wish to continue that to which date and.
So if you're inclined to extend a month, I would also grant and allow an extension on the time in which to act up to including March 31st, 2023.
Any board members? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just looking at our schedule that I think we agreed to.
What is the
But,
date? What's the first meeting in March?
First
March
meeting in
1st,
March?
which is close.
I would say, Judge,
Oh,
March
first.
20th.
I would say
Yeah,
the
so we
second.
would have a meeting on the 20th.
Yeah.
That's our optional.
We do
one.
have items that are lining up for March 20th to be.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to pick a date that was going to run past the 31st.
Mhm.
Anyone else have any other comments? Can I please have a motion to continue case number 22-4 till March 20th?
So moved.
Moved
Second.
by Dave, second by Judy,
Sorry, with-
voting
Also with an extension of time.
with an extension
To March 31st.
to March 31st. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Voting on this would be Mark Major, Bob Fitzgerald, Dave, and Judy. Moved by Dave, seconded by Judy. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Oppose, abstain. See you March 20th.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Two.
The next thing we have is meeting minutes. Meeting minutes from January 4th. I did not have any comments regarding January 4th. I've had a chance, I don't know if other board members have had a chance to review the minutes.
Yeah, those look good to me as well.
Okay. Sure. Yep.
I can see you over there.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I'm used to sitting on the corner. I can see everybody. On page, I don't know what page it is, okay, the back of the first page, when general discussion on the in-law suite proposed changes, I think we had sent it, and then there was a meeting with John and Drew and Pat and building commissioner, and then that's why those changes took place. And I just
Correct.
thought maybe it should, they didn't just come out of nowhere. So I thought
Yep.
maybe it should, reference the meeting. Because we had
So
gone,
that's the second paragraph. Of-
I had asked
sorry.
why things changed.
Yep.
And then, because they didn't just change
Yeah, so.
by themselves, but you had said you all had met. So I think that the question was, how did it change? But I think it's important that
Yeah,
no one individually changed them. So if you just reflect the meeting you guys had with the town administrator and building inspector, the date or whatever, just to say those changes came out of that meeting. Because we sent it with our ideas and then it changed.
So yes, it's for the discussion topic on that page, general discussion, in-law suite proposed changes, second paragraph. After your question, Ms. Conroy asked what percentage associated with the in-law suite size has changed back from 25% to 33%. You have something to the effect of Mr. Lee stated that after a meeting held with town staff, including the building commissioner.
Right, that's fine.
I'd
Just-
say that,
Just,
yeah.
because it just looked like we sent it,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, without our discussion or input, it changed.
Okay.
Okay?
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from January 4th with the mentioned additional comments?
So moved.
Moved by Judy,
Second?
second by Bob. Voting will be Tim, Judy, Dave, myself, and Bob.
Drew,
Oh.
I wasn't at the January 4th, so maybe I better
Okay.
sit this one out.
I think I was, so.
So I guess the only people voting on it would be yourself, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. Fitzgerald, and Ms. Conroy.
Yep.
Oh, Mr. Major was there as well.
My apologies, yep. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstained. Minutes approved. Next minutes we have are from January 18th. I reviewed them and didn't have a comment. Any comments for those?
Nope, those look good too.
Dave, you weren't there, so voting would be Tim, Judy, myself, Bob, and Mark. Have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from January 18th.
So moved.
Moved by Judy,
Second.
second by Mark. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion approved minutes. February 1st, minutes. I did have a note regarding the first case. It says motion by Mr. Delaney, seconded by Mr. Major. It was actually seconded by Judy. And it was carried with 4 regulatory members, not the 5.
So, Mr. Major.
Okay, got it.
No. So Mr. Major's name would be removed. Yep.
That was the only comment I had. Anyone have any other? Voting would be, on this would be Mark, myself, Dave, Judy, and Tim. I have a motion to approve the minutes from February 1st.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Judy, second by Dave. Dave, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved from February 1st. That's all I have that's listed. Any other topics to discuss?
I just had a question. So what do we have on March 3rd? The 40B, March 1st?
So-
A new meeting. Sorry.
On March 1st, the opening of the remand order for
Yep.
the Burns Avenue 40B case. We have a continuation of 15 Winthrop Street. That was if you recall, that was 2 special permits, one under Section 12 due to the impervious surface that they're creating, and it's within the Water Resource Protection Overlay District. And then the other one was, I think there was a modification to a pre-existing non-conforming structure. And then there's also 555 East Street. That's a new public hearing. That is a modification to a pre-existing non-conforming use. So it's a 2-family dwelling that is looking to make alterations within a single-family residential only district. But it's a pre-existing use. So it falls under 9.3 of the bylaws.
I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.